Are you strong enough that you're willing to be accused of being weak? Or are you so weak that you have to project so that everybody else thinks you are strong? There is a difference. It's an interesting thing whenever it comes to Jesus. Jesus was very often accused of being too weak. He was too loving, he was compassionate, he was gracious. The people that everybody else would stone and condemn, Jesus was loving and forgiving, and he was often seen as being weak to such an extent that it doesn't look this way in our culture, but in the original culture, the idea of a God dying, being crucified now, was so beneath him, so below him, so weak that a God would do that clearly he isn't God. And yet we know something different. We know that it was his strength, his connection with the Father, the integrity of who he was as a person, that the opinions of other people did not impact him, and he did what was right in every moment, even to the extent of willing to be accused of being weak. He had such a strength, he could take on that accusation without hesitation. Do you have the same ability? Because if you and I are truly following the ways of Jesus, there will be times in which we'll be accused of being too strong. We'll speak truth and people won't like it. And there'll be accusations of we're being harsh. But then from the church, if we're truly proclaiming the way of Jesus, of grace, of meekness, then the primary accusation against us is not that we're too strong. It's that we're too weak. Because we're going to be willing to restrain our words, to not win the political argument, to not make the cheat point, to not take the opponent's position and to twist it into some way and to come in and bludgeon them with our opinion and our belief. Instead, we're going to so honor the value and the personhood of what is our opponent that we'll actually protect them even when they can't protect themselves. We'll restrain our strength in such a way to make sure we're never leveraging it for our own ability and well-being, and only using it for the benefit and the aid of other people, to such an extent that religious people, Pharisees, will at times look at us and say, I can't believe how cowardly you're being. Why aren't you speaking out about this? And why aren't you proclaiming that? When in reality, we are showing a loving restraint because we actually don't want to lie to people. We want to show them the fullness of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And yet many in today's culture who claim to be followers of Jesus are so weak, they have to project a strength that's actually a lie. Let us follow the way of Jesus that is willing to be so strong in who he has made us to be, that we're okay with being accused of being weak. Listen to his words. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Meekness is not weakness. It truly is a strength that is under control. But for those who don't understand it, meekness can be confused as weakness, and they will pity the person that actually shows the very strength of Jesus. Let's choose his way over the ways of this world.